Hi everyone, in this video I'll be talking about the structure and the function of the plasma membrane. Plasma membrane is a barrier between the inner environment and the outer environment. It's the outermost layer of the cytoplasm. It plays a major role in maintaining the cell integrity and the cell communication. In 1972, Singer and Nicholson proposed a model called fluid mosaic model to describe the structure of the plasma membrane. To describe the structure of the plasma membrane. Fluid mosaic model. The model is called fluid mosaic model. Why they called it fluid mosaic model? Because the cell the plasma membrane consists of proteins and lipids, so it has ability to move sideways like a liquid. So that's why they called it fluid. The mosaic. Why they called it mosaic? Because the plasma membrane consists of different kind of molecules like carbohydrate, proteins, lipids. That's why they called it mosaic. When talking about the structure of the plasma membrane consists of four molecules: phospholipids, proteins, cholesterols, and carbohydrate. First, we will talk about the phospholipid. The plasma membrane has two phospholipid layers. One is there, the other one is there. Each phospholipid has head and tail. Head facing outward of the cell membrane and tail facing inward. And it makes semi-permeable layer. Actually, plasma membrane is a semi-permeable layer. The other most important fact is the head is in phospholipid bilayer. Each phospholipid has a head and tail. The head is a hydrophilic. Hydrophilic means that water attracting. The tail is a hydrophobic. It's mean that water repelling. When talking about the proteins in the plasma membrane, it can be grouped based on the structure and the function. Based on the structure and the function. Based on the structure, there are two kinds of proteins: integral protein and the peripheral protein. Integral protein, also called it as intrinsic protein. Peripheral proteins, also called it as extrinsic protein. Integral proteins are the proteins which deeply embedded in the lipid bilayer. Some are span across the plasma membrane like this. These are integral proteins. It plays a major role in transport and signal communication. The examples for the integral proteins are glucose transporters, and the ion channels. Like this. The peripheral proteins are the proteins which loosely attach to the inner or outer layer of the plasma membrane. It does not penetrate across the plasma membrane. The examples for the peripheral proteins are Cytoskeletal supportive proteins. Cytoskeletal supportive proteins. These are the peripheral proteins. These are the peripheral proteins. Moving to the function of the plasma membrane, there are different kind of functions, but in here I will be talking about the major ones. The first one is selective permeability. Selective permeability. It controls the movement of the substance in and out of the cell. It allows nutrient in and waste product out. The second role is protection. It acts as a barrier against harmful substances. Third role is cell communication. It contains receptors that receive signal from other cells or the environment. It contains receptors that receive signals from the outside or other cells. The next role is support and structure. It maintains the shape of the cell and provides a stable environment. Fifth role is cell recognition. Surface proteins and carbohydrates help identify the cells to the immune system. The next role is transport. It facilitates passive and active transport mechanisms for transporting the molecules. The examples for the passive transport mechanisms are diffusion and osmosis. Active transport mechanism means that the transport mechanisms which use ATP as energy. Okay, thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for the next videos.